We know when we're live. Oh, it's live.
Hey, Jenny Oaks Baker, please report to the principal's office. Jenny Oaks Baker.
I actually used to get excited when I got called down. I always knew it was an award. Just kidding.
I did not get any awards.
I actually was kind of ignored in high school. I was never called down. I always wanted to be because I thought it. Anyway, we're live.
We're live. We're live. And we're talking about Jenny's troubled childhood being called down to.
Actually, I was just honestly, I never got invited. I only went to anyway. I hardly ever got invited to Guys' Choice dances. So that was
really? That is tragic.
My mommy told me it was because I was intimidating. Wasn't that sweet of her? I don't know if that's true.
I think that was true.
That was really nice of her to say.
And probably true. What high school did you go to, Jenny Oaks Baker?
East High. But we're actually live, so we should maybe just talk about this really
I think people love High School Musical and hearing about East High.
Oh, that's true. I went there before High School Musical, so it wasn't that exciting at the time. But I mean, I stayed home every weekend with my mom and practice. So it was really fun.
And, I'm going out on a limb here, but I think the practice might have been useful because I think you might be America's villain. And you know what? Look, by the way, speaking of East High, I don't know if you know this. It is reported that the cast of High School Musical has all read this and they just love it. All of them. They all have copies.
That's amazing because it just got released yesterday.
I know.
How did you send? Are you friends?
Yes.
Really great dancer. The ones that pops and logs. Oh. Yeah, I've met her. So
have you?
Yeah,
she's delightful.
She is. She's adorable. I know. So I'm special too because.
So last High School Musical thought, because I think people that watch the show and that like the original, the movies.
It's actually not what I thought we were going to talk about, but
I know this is super interesting. So when the first time I took my girls to Utah after like the first or second movie or whatever, they said we must go to the high school and take a picture in front. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And so we go and there were like 30 people. Wow. Like it was such a thing that people would go by and
my kids too. I'm like, I went to high school here, but it actually wasn't that building because they tore it down after I left. In memory of me. But and because of the earthquakes that are coming someday. But I took my kids and we went and we found Sharpay's pink locker, which is actually Pink's, at least at the time, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, whenever it was. And then we found Troy Bolton's locker, and I may have bribed my 6-year-old to kiss it so I could get a picture.
My heavens.
as good moms do.
Well, I hope that picture makes it into the visuals for the Christmas show, which we should also talk about today. But Jenny, how cool is this that after toying with this idea for really, I think it came up for the first time a couple of years ago, and then a full year of arm wrestling one another and the good folks at Shadow Mountain, it's here and it's beautiful. And I don't know how you reacted when you like.
I actually have a copy too. I didn't remember that I have a copy also.
And I went nuts when I opened it.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. And we're not just saying.
I always thought someday I'll write a book, and then you wrote a book and put my name on it.
Well, is that true though? Is that true though? I think you had a role to play here. Actually, so for those interested, it is a collaboration, and it really is a collaboration in every sense. In that the part 2, which I really really love, the scriptures that we choose and the music and then these anecdotes that are real life stories from people that help to illustrate the principles from the scriptures and the music. You had a hand in all of that. Like you were sending feedback on every little detail, and you chose the music to go with the scriptures. And so every time I hear you say that I just put your name on it, I think you're nuts. I think you're nuts.
Well, your writing is just my favorite, Jason. And it's always a joy to work with you, and you're so humble and you're so good, and your writing's just beautiful. And the book, we even have some art in there that we did.
Gorgeous. I love your art so much.
It is really beautiful. I'm grateful. We've got great artists. Oh, and we put some music in there.
I know.
That's a great idea about making it kind of a collaborative thing for families to sit down together and
Yeah. So I envision your daughter, Laura, who will one day have 17 children, with her wonderful husband, and it's so pretty. And it's Christmas Eve,
Sorry.
and one of their children is narrating the book, and they're talking about the scriptures, and I really hope that it becomes for families. And we talked on the podcast this week, which people can look up and listen to a longer interview. But if people have their own traditions, that's great. We're not trying to replace anything that your family's been doing for a bazillion years, but this could be a really fun way to celebrate, a special sacred way to celebrate the holidays, by having someone read and then use the QR codes and go listen or watch the videos, right?
Right.
It's so fun.
Or they're even like, and sometimes let's say like there's the QR codes that go to a website page on my website. And like, let's say one song, you're like, I really want to just sit here and listen. I don't want to sing along on this one. I just want to sit with my thoughts. You can either just listen to a recording, you can watch a video, or, and then the next song, let's say you're like, I'm feeling like I really want to sing Joy to the World. And you play the piano and everyone sings Joy to the World. Or the next song, you're like, I just want to sing and have someone else accompany me. There's accompaniment tracks for every song that Kurt Bester wrote for my family that you can read along to the music, and an accompaniment, not exactly like just the piano, but even more beautiful with me and my kids accompanying violin, cello, guitar, and piano. Beautiful new accompaniment arrangements that you can sing along to. So it's got all kinds of options. Every time you do it, you can choose a different option.
Yeah. And the I don't know if we want to say this for the whole world, but we might as well. When Kurt called me and asked me for my advice on the arrangements, and actually had me do a few of them, he just said, I feel like you should really, help. And so I ended up doing most of them. And I said it was fine if we put his name on it. It was fine. Because I'm humble, right, Jenny? Like, it's fine. Now, do you know that I've never met Kurt? Tell us a little bit about Kurt.
Are you serious?
Never met him.
Well, I kind of feel like Kurt is the 21st century Mozart of the world. He is so brilliant, and everything he writes is just so beautiful and touches my soul, and just everything he does musically, I just think is the greatest thing. And
how long have you known him?
I think the first time I met him, I was 16, and I'm 48, so a long time. I don't know how to do the math, but I know when I met him and how old I am usually. Wow. And so many years. So I've been working with him since I made my first album many years ago. Yeah. And I feel so blessed to be able to work with him. I feel like I get to work with Mozart or Beethoven.
That's pretty cool. I know. What higher compliment is that? And
someday you should meet him for sure. He's a great guy.
Yeah, I would love that. It's so funny because everyone feels like they know him because of the Christmas show and the billboards and the social media ads. My goodness, starting here in the next couple of weeks, probably, after that first weekend in October in a conference, my social media feed is just come to the Kurt Bester Christmas show. And I keep saying, hide. I'm involved in a Christmas show. Okay, be sensitive here. Really, he does such a good job for so many years with that Christmas show that I think people feel like they know him even though they haven't met him like me. So you got to make that happen, Jenny.
Okay, I'll invite him to our show. How's that?
That'd be so fun. So we have to talk about the show, but first, people can buy the book. We always love it when you buy the book from Desert Book, of course. What I love online shopping. I have an Amazon Prime account like the rest of the world. I buy stuff online all the time. We all do. But as a writer and a creator of physical, tangible goods like this beautiful book, I think whenever possible, when it's reasonable, that you can just walk into a store and pick up the book and hold the book and buy your. Yes. Yeah. Turn the pages, see what it smells like. Look at the art. Just there's something so beautiful about holding the book. If you can, get yourself into a Deseret book or Siegel bookstore and buy the book that way. If you can't, buy it online at deseretbook.com.
The thing about this book is when you're at the piano, the book lays flat.
And who ensured that happened, Jenny Oaks Baker?
The worst thing in the world is when you put a book of music up on your piano and it shuts, or you try to open it like that and then it comes apart and then it falls down. It's very disappointing. So I was like, wait a minute, what happens when they try to open the book and put it on the piano?
And it was so close to going to press. This was like so close to the final hour. And Jenny sent an email saying, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That is so exciting.
Yeah. And I do know, I happen to know that added some expense.
Everything I do. That's one thing Deseret Book has learned.
Yeah. I mean, you tore high school down. So I understand. So people can buy the book. So can they buy the book at the show, Jenny Oaks Baker?
Yes. You can buy the book at any of the shows that I'm driving to, but not the shows I'm flying to. So if it's drivable from Utah, Idaho, Utah shows, Vegas, then we'll have the books there for you to buy. But you can just buy the book and bring it to us to sign it. You can buy it there. Either way. If you're coming to Texas or California or Chicago or St. Louis or Seattle or Calgary, and I think I listed everything, and Mesa. Did I list Mesa? Mm-hmm. We hope you'll buy the book and bring it to us and we'll sign it there, or hopefully you'll come and we'll give you like something that we've signed and you can put it in your own book after you order it, after you leave. Yep. Just because this book's a little bit heavy. And so I can't.
A bit heavy. It is so heavy.
Bring like 1,000 books to every show. And of course, everybody at the show is going to want one. So we just don't want to disappoint anyone.
Yeah. So on that note, I can tell you from personal experience, having written a number of Christmas books, that if you assume that there will be copies of the book available, say December 20th through 24th, which is when I do the majority of my Christmas shopping, you could be wrong. Do not assume that the book will be around all through the holidays. And I know this sounds like such a cheesy sales push, but it's true, because I had books sell out. And if this thing sells out, they're not getting more to you before Christmas. It'll be next year, because they don't. Right? It takes a long time. It takes a long time to produce this beautiful work of art. So if you are looking to get a pallet of books, get your order in now.
I should probably order some for this tour.
You should probably order some for the tour.
You text me that so I don't forget.
I will. Tell me, I know people will listen to the longer interview on the podcast, but I think people listening just right now, or who will watch this video over the next several weeks, might be interested to just know how the show itself came to be, because without the show, there is no book, and we have to acknowledge that. So can you just tell us like the Reader's Digest version of the birth of the show itself?
Which turned into the book. So I was doing a fire. Let's see, you wanted the short version, so maybe I shouldn't start there, but I will anyway. I was doing a fireside in St. George, and it was a Zoom fireside for some people, I think missionaries in England.
Oh.
And I was in St. George, and I needed a place to do this fireside because the churches were kind of closed and we needed a piano. And anyway, so I reached out to a friend, and he invited me to come to the home of Gail Smith to do the fireside there, because he said she has a beautiful piano. And I was sitting down after this fireside Zoom, and she'd invited some of her family, and I was just sitting there and just chatting with her cute daughter. And I was talking about how I always had wanted to perform at Tuacahn, and she's like, well, you should come to a show. And I was like, well, what if we did a Christmas show? And she's like, okay. So all of a sudden I had a Christmas show at Tuacahn in like 2 months, which was kind of exciting and super exciting, because I've never performed a show at Tuacahn. And so I was like,
and it's beautiful, 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 beautiful.
It is gorgeous. And I was like, well, this is kind of end of September, and I've got a Christmas show at Tuacahn in 2 months. So I should get working on that. And so I was like, who should I have? I want a show. I don't want just on a concert. I want a show. And I was like, and I want a narration to the show. So I'm not just saying, and this is my next favorite song. And wasn't this a great song? And I really like this next song, which is kind of what I do when I say, I just say whatever's in my mind, which is like, oh, and I really love this song, which after a while gets a little old. And so I called up Jason and I was like, can you write me a script and you want to come be the narrator? And he's like, sure. And so he did, and it's beautiful. And I said, well, we want to do these songs because I already had the arrangements because my kids and I think had just released a Christmas album, or I think my Christmas album had just come out with my kids, which is actually quite convenient. So the way the Lord works, you start doing things in order to do other things that you don't even know you're going to do, that he's going to have the Spirit lead you to do, which is really helpful. And so we had the music. Jason provided the script. I invited a choir because things are always better with choir. And then I invited some dancers because everything's better with dancing. And then it just kind of came together. And every year it's gotten better and better and better and better. And now it's phenomenal. So you got to come.
I love that. So I will tell you the initial contact, because we had met years ago back in the Time Out for Women world. And when we realized that you and my wife are related, and we did dinner in Northern Virginia when we lived in Northern Virginia. And then we did some Time Out stuff, but we were not in really regular contact. And then October 1st of 2020 at 4:14 p.m., I received the following email.
Are you serious? You have it?
I do. Listen, how are you and your family? Can you call me when you have a moment? I am putting together a Christmas show at Tuacahn and need to find someone to write a narration. But I may not be able to afford you. Smiley face.
That's my way of making things cheaper.
Yeah. And do you want me to tell you what my response said?
Sure.
It said, hey, you're loaded. You can afford me. Here's my number. Oh gosh, it all began October 1st, and unbelievably, Jenny, I mean, if someone watching wonders whether the Lord is really in the details of our lives, or if that's simply a cliche that we have told ourselves over and over again to feel faith, oh my heavens, for that to come together that quickly in the middle of a pandemic is nothing short of miraculous.
Weeks later, we were performing.
Yeah.
I'm never going to give you very much notice in the future. You can really.
I know that was a lot. I know. Now I look back at it and I go, wow, that was quite a bit of time. That was so much fun. And people that were at that initial show would recognize some elements of it today, but it has really evolved into something.
Oh, it was great then, and it was so fun to come together, but it's so much better now.
So much better now. I will say that venue is, I have been in some interesting stages, and you on some of the world's, most renowned stages and halls, but something about Tuacahn and that outdoor, for those that haven't been, it's a little like Red Rocks, right?
I've never been there, but I think
Colorado, it's outdoor and it's framed against the rock behind you, and it's all completely open. And it's just, it's a really special place. And I hope we get to go back someday.
It was dedicated by President Gordon B. Hinckley. So
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's a dedicated space. That's part of what makes it so very special.
Interesting. I did not know that. Yeah, it's a very special place. So this year we're not there again, unfortunately, because of scheduling conflicts with the venue, right?
Really cold.
Yeah, that is pretty cold. It is. So we did 2 years there, and then we moved to
Cox Performing Arts Center in St. George, and 19 other venues.
19 other venues.
If you live at anywhere close to any of these places, don't let me forget. Should I just go through them really quick?
You should. Yes, you should.
Because I've been living and breathing Christmas tour, and I think I can do it. Okay, so we have Thanksgiving all together. Everyone has Thanksgiving. And then the next day we're in Idaho Falls, November 24th. November 25th is in Boise. November 27th is in San Antonio. November 28th is in Houston. November 29th is in Dallas. November 30th is in Salt Lake. That's going to be a quick flight.
Yeah.
We have a couple of days off. I'm so nice. And then to my kids, they're like, wait, when's Christmas happening for our family? I'm like, yeah, after Christmas. And then we go to Seattle for December 4th. Mm-hmm. And December 5th is in Calgary. And then December 8th is in St. Louis. December 9th is in Chicago. December 11th is in Logan. December 12th is off. December 13th is in St. George. December 14th is in Vegas. December 15th is in Cedar City. December 16th is in Richfield.
Yep.
I want to say Richmond because we live in Richfield, Utah. And then December 18th is it's right by San Diego. December 19th is in Thousand Oaks. December 21st is in it's South LA, Orange County. It's called Cerritos.
Yeah.
Cerritos. And then the next day, December 22nd is in Oakland at Temple Hill. December 23rd is in Mesa.
Yes. And then we go home on the 24th and we sleep until February. So let me just say, I am very excited about Dallas. I spent a few months in Dallas waiting for my visa when I served a mission years ago. And so I'm really excited about Dallas. I think Dallas is it's a special area. Houston, I'm super excited about. Of course, Salt Lake will know so many people, which is really, really special. Canada will be really fun.
What will?
Canada will be really fun.
It'll be a little cold, I think.
It will be a little cold, but I watched you walk in Idaho Falls through a blizzard. Ladies and gentlemen, we were trying to get to the lobby to meet people, and it was packed, and it had snowed 11 feet, I think, outside. And Jenny's like, well, I guess we're going out. So we got the side door off the stage, and I have video of this. You can find it on my social media. And she's in her dress and heels, like through the snow and ice around the side of we're outside.
I was like, down to the table.
And she's greeting people. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. My teeth are chattering. I'm in a dress, basically. I mean, I'm in this shepherd's costume. That's very flattering. Yeah. I'm also very excited about Richfield. There are some wonderful, wonderful people in Richfield. And so I don't know how that came to be, but I love that you're taking us there.
Well, I mean, this isn't a show just for big cities. This is a show for everyone. And really, I'm really thrilled about every single venue, and thrilled that we've got wonderful local choirs and local Irish dancers or cloggers, and also lyrical or ballet dancers in every single venue. Because I had the impression last year that the show is for the audience, of course, but it's also for all the local performers that join us and are just singing about the Savior Jesus Christ from all kinds of different walks of life and different faith backgrounds, and everybody's joining together and praising the Savior of the world at Christmas time. So I'm really excited to perform with all these different groups who I've never met, and just come together praising Jesus Christ with the audience. So, and Alex Sharp is going to be there as well with us. We should give her a shout out. Formerly of Celtic Woman, Alex Sharp has the most stunning voice and is such a stunning performer, and just brings such a life and beauty to the stage. And my kids are there too.
Yeah, and my kids.
And my kids. Family 4.
Yeah, they and by the way, back to the book. There was a very sweet couple of emails back and forth where Jenny talked about the need for her family to get credit, not just on the cover, but on the front matter page, on the copyright page, and that this really was a family effort, which I thought was very nice. And I hope that if you come to a show and you buy your stack of books, that you will take the time to have the children sign it. I just think that would be really special. They've probably not done that before, right? And maybe sign some CDs.
I'm so bad at syncing things up. Can everyone see? Okay, left, Jenny, to the right. Okay, can you see?
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so getting that picture actually almost had us miss deadlines on getting this book printed.
I know. Thank you, Chris Schobinger, for pushing that out a little bit.
They were really nice because they're like, we actually need the picture by the middle of March. And I'm like, actually, can you get it by the middle of April? Because my kids were away at college or wherever they were. And I guess London, or Hannah was in London. Yeah. And I wanted a new picture because our last Christmas picture, Matthew's like 4 feet tall. And now he's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And he looks like he's 5, and now he looks like he's 18. So anyway, I was like, I need a new Christmas picture, and I don't have one, and my kids look completely different. And so Hannah came back on like November 2nd or something. Or not November, April 2nd. And happily there was still like blizzard, like Arctic conditions. And so we went up Provo Canyon and in the middle of a blizzard and took like the most snowy, Christmassy, blizzardy picture with snow. Like you can see the little snow specks all over this picture because it was a full on blizzard. And I'm like getting to the place we're going to take the photo underneath an umbrella, just hoping that like my hair doesn't become like this because I'd had it straightened and curled. So it was all like smooth and pretty. And I was afraid it would become like, so I was under my umbrella and we got our middle of April Christmas picture.
That's so great. The wind again, God has a way of helping things happen. What matters to us matters to him when they're, when they're righteous. And that's, I love the way the entire thing came together. And I can't wait to spend, and by the way, back to Alex, it is no small thing that Alex leaves her home and her mother and her son and travels around the world from Dublin to be on the road with us for a month. It's a pretty big deal, and it's such a treat to have her there. And if you have an opportunity to come to the VIP reception that will happen at every venue, right? And by the way, a ticket to the VIP reception gets you a book.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And an opportunity to chat in a little bit more kind of a cozy environment, a little more intimate setting, and to get your book signed without standing in line, and then to just have an opportunity to interact with Jenny and Alex and her children. It's worth doing. It's a special thing. But I feel really out of place, Jenny. Like I remember when I was doing Time Out for Women event and I would be on stage, I would look at you and Emily Watts or Chris Stewart and Mike Wilcox.
Emily,
yeah, right. Emily Bell Freeman. Yeah, what happened to her? And you're just standing there going, one of these things is not like the other.
That's not true. Like, as we've done this today, I'm kind of thinking that my next production is going to be a talk show with you as the host, with me as the guest, because this is so much fun. I kind of want to do it every day. You should be a talk show host, Jason.
I should have a talk show. Who's watching? They can give me a talk show. Let's do this.
Is there one we can buy? Jason and I want to buy a talk show. So if anyone has one, let us know. And we want to be in the middle of it.
We do. We do. So if you're watching this and you own a struggling talk show in need of new ownership, please reach out to Jenny at jennyoaksbaker.com. So much fun. We're going to wrap this up, but thank you so much to Shadow Mountain for putting this together. I've never used StreamYard. I didn't even know this existed until they set this all up, but how convenient, and we're grateful for them. Jenny, any parting thoughts? No,
but I really I hope this brings more like the spirit of Christmas into your homes. It's a really special book. And I'm just thrilled to be a part of it with Jason, and hope that our music brings you closer to the Savior this Christmas and these beautiful words. And it's always a joy to chat with you, Jason, and work with you. And I'm just always happy anytime we can work together.
I feel the same. So much joy from you, and in your eyes, and in your faith and your testimony. And let me just say that we had conversations about the title and the cover of the book, and I'm the same as you. I'm like trying to figure out. So it is not an accident that his name reigns supreme in every way, and even on a book cover. And that is, it's important that we remember that we are doing it for that name. These names are fine, but that's the name that matters most, the one by all names, the Savior. And we just love him, and the show and the book and all of it is to help people connect to him, we hope, in a deeper way, and to hear him. And what better time to tune in your hearing to the voice of the Lord and to however you feel and hear him than during the holiday season. So we're honored to do that.
To be his witness, but not just, I think that's so important nowadays, that we have our own testimonies, and we know the Savior, and we love him. We're grateful for that relationship we have, and all the sacrifices that the atonement of Jesus Christ that enables us to return to live with God again. How wonderful. And we're so grateful for that. But I think we also have the responsibility to share that testimony, share that knowledge, and be his witness. And I feel that so strongly, especially now. I feel like we have to gather people and help the whole world be ready for the Savior's second coming, and prepare the world. And that's our responsibility. And so I hope that this is a gift that you could give your neighbors, or just gather your family and witness of the Savior to each other and to everyone you meet. So
yeah, and Jenny and I, of course, are lifelong proud members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But this book is not about our specific Christianity. It is about Christianity. It's for all Christians, whatever church you belong to, whatever faith you belong to, or no faith at all. This book is for you. It is, and I hope the testimony you just shared is, again, we love our church, but this is about being a witness of Christ wherever you are and wherever you stand.
Absolutely. Oh, that was sweet. I was feeling like, we were just too jovial and talking about silly things, and then you brought it home. Good job, Jason.
Well, as soon as this ends, we will again. I'm quite certain. Thank you again to Shadow Mountain. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Share this when the video is, many of you are going to be seeing this after it's posted. So like it, share it, send the link to your grandmother, and let's light the world. We should light the world, Jenny.
Absolutely. #light the world.
All right.
Great to be here. Thanks.